Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders, and welcome back for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the week of February 14th through February 18th of 2022. If you have not already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this week, We Love Trading, we would highly recommend that you go see part 1. It discusses the market analysis data, which is the input to our watch list selections for part 2, and also our strategy and trends, etc. So let's get started with our watch list updates for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for February 14th through February 18th of 2022. Okay, I'm now on the stock screen of the online browser version of Webull. As always, you can get 2 or more free stocks with your copy of Webull via our affiliate link below. And I just wanted to briefly share with you another cool feature of the stock screen in Webull that I discovered, which is the lower pane showing news, financials analysis, press release, corporate actions, options, etc. So you can see at the bottom of the chart we have that bottom pane. I'm looking at O so that I can see some of the dividend history, which is sometimes for these REITs, it doesn't show up as a bubble in Thinkorswim. Sometimes it's hard to figure out when their next ex-dividend is going to be. So if I pull up that bottom pane, as you can see, I can see a number of additional pieces of information, but under corporate actions I can see their dividend schedule. So I can see in this case, it looks like their ex-dividend dates are the last day of the month. So their last ex-dividend date was the 31st of January, so I would expect the next ex-dividend date to be the end of February. So again, that's helpful to know when watching these stocks, because typically on the ex-dividend date the price will decline equal to the value of the dividend, because the person that bought it the day before gets the dividend. The person that buys it on the ex-dividend date or later does not get the dividend, so they discount the price equal to the dividend. So again, that's useful information to have when watching these stocks. Also, if you're putting a stop in place, please be aware of that. You don't want that discount of the price to hit your stop necessarily, because it is just discounting for the dividend, and you don't want it to hit your stop and then bounce right back up and continue on an upward trajectory. So I hope that helps. You can also see for optionable stocks, you can view the options chain here in this lower panel. Again, very helpful information if you want to buy options or sell covered calls, etc. against a stock. And there's additional information. Maybe we'll do a more detailed due diligence video or a more detailed video in the future on that pane. But we hope that helps you get some additional information for, again, I like that to find the ex-dividend date for REITs and other monthly paying stocks that don't necessarily show up with a dividend bubble in Thinkorswim. Okay, let's start looking at our updates to our main watch list for our weekly trading game plan for this week, February 14th through the 18th. The first one to discuss is boil and cold, which are the long and short leveraged ETFs on natural gas. Hopefully you already saw, were alerted via our Patreon, or saw in the comments of last week's Part 2 weekly trading game plan that we went long boil again at 28.84 on the 10th. When we saw that natural gas had declined, looked like it was making a turn, boil crossed above the VWAP, cold crossed below the VWAP, so that was our trigger signal that we had a reversal apparently. And so we, as you can see, we stopped out of cold, made a nice profit, congratulations to all of our fellow BeachBum traders who also made a nice profit in cold. You can see that was a ROI of about 34%, which equates to a monthly ROI of like 128%. So again, as we discussed in part one, natural gas, these nice cyclical swings in natural gas have been great, and now we're swinging back up, and we have some catalysts that we discussed in part one to support that thesis that natural gas is likely to swing back up, at least hopefully, and we'll swing it up and then play it going the other way when we see a reversal coming. So that's oil and cold, which again are the long and short on natural gas. Corsair Gaming we still have on our watch list. Hopefully you will see a due diligence video, a more detailed due diligence video coming out soon on Corsair Gaming. We can see it's kind of run up. We would like it to come down to, it looks like it's coming down to a nice support. Given market conditions, if we get a little bit of a dip on some pressure on tech stocks, again, you can see it's below the VWAP, below the pivot point. So we'd like to see it cross over the VWAP to go long on Corsair Gaming. And I'd like a better price if that's possible. But we like Corsair Gaming, and again, hopefully you'll see that due diligence video soon. DRIP is the long leveraged ETF on oil, so we've got DRIP and Gush. Alright, take it back. DRIP is the short, Gush is the long. So we're looking to go long on DRIP to short oil when it eventually peaks. Now, where is that peak? I don't know. It's 94, 95 right now. People talk about 100, 120. Wherever that peak occurs and we see that turn down in oil, we will short oil using DRIP. And this will be a scalp swing trade, so we'll short it until it reverses, and if it reverses and turns back up, then we'll stop out of DRIP or sell DRIP, cash out of that. Probably won't go long Gush, but if you're a day trader, momentum trader, you can do just like we did with oil and cold and flip with DRIP and Gush and just play these scalps, these reversals until it no longer works. So we hope that helps. Okay, we're going to leave Kratos Defense, KTOS, ticker symbol K2S on our watch list. I'd like to get it a little bit cheaper, but it does look like it's hovering nicely on this pivot point, so maybe we'll have to pay up a little bit and then go for that $17 pivot point. They've had a number of press releases of contract wins. They do drones, etc. So and they've had, like I said, a number of contract wins recently, and we can see the price really hasn't reacted a whole lot to those press releases. So when the market sees that and starts to react, that might be a positive time to jump into KTOS. We'll leave on the watch list. Again, we'd like it to come down to the 65 area. It is declining a bit. So again, we'd like to see it a little bit cheaper. O is Realty Income. It's a REIT, monthly paying dividend REIT. You can see it's sitting below its VWAP, so it is declining. Again, whenever that comes down, and then we would like to get that. Same with OPP, the REITs. And this is, I think, a fixed income. And you can see it declined quite a bit. I'd kind of like that down in the 1296, 13 area. You can see it's in a real steady decline very recently. And again, we would like to see it stabilize around that 13 area, and then we would go long. Again, that's a dividend-paying stock. We talked about last week. These are ways to ride through the Fed meeting, ride through all the volatility, just collect dividends for a while till the market stabilizes. And again, these can give you that opportunity. POWW will leave on the watch list. This is interesting because it's an ammunition company, and it really didn't react very much to the Russia invasion news. It is a little high right now. They had previous news that ran it up a bit, but again, there's a very positive catalyst behind POW. I'm surprised it didn't react more to the Russian invasion, so there might be an opportunity there. Roku, you know, we've had this on our watch list for a while. It ran up, now it's coming down a bit. It gets pressured down on the risk off. Now they did have some, the positive catalyst here was the Disney Plus news. They came out with good numbers. They got, you know, punished from Netflix when Netflix had bad numbers. They got a boost when Disney reported good numbers, but again, they get pressured with the tech growth stocks, lockdown stocks. So, you know, we'd like to get a little bit cheaper. When it stabilizes and swings back up, we may go long Roku. We're going to take SLVO, which is the Credit Suisse Silver ETN monthly pay. We own a chunk of this, and we were looking to get another chunk of it because it did make a quick dip, but then it bounced right back up. So I'd like to get it much cheaper. Again, we already have a chunk, so we're going to remove that from the watch list. Again, you can see how quick and easy it is to maintain a watch list on the stock screen. And we have a video in more detail about how to do that. I'll put in the description box below. So I'm going to remove SLVO from the watch list for this week for a while, and we'll see when we get another opportunity like that. STAG is industrial REIT, warehouses, logistics, etc. Again, we like that. It's been declining a bit. When it stabilizes around this 40 level, we would like to be able to go long. STAG, again, there's a monthly dividend paying REIT, so place to park some money, ride out the volatility, and collect dividends while we do that. SVXY is the short on volatility, and UVXY is the long on volatility, the short on the VIX, the long on the VIX. As we've talked about for a long time, we have a standing order sitting out in the 48, I think it's 48.54, or 48.85 is where we're looking to buy SVXY. That's a spike in the VIX somewhere in the 30s. We might get that Monday, hopefully, and then we would ride that down using SVXY. And again, this is you could play this every day, long the VIX, short the VIX if you're quick. BTI is the total market ETF, again, very stable. This is a great one if you're doing just long-term investing, dollar cost averaging, etc. A lot of people like BTI. I'd like it down in the 217. So if we get another decline in the market early next week, it goes down to 217, 212, which is the recent lows. We would pick up. You can see there's the 212. There's the 217 support area. So either of those support areas I think would be a good value for VTI. And again, it's low risk, 4,000 stocks or something. It doesn't pay a real high dividend, so it's not a great yield, but it's a place to park some cash, ride out the volatility until the market stabilizes and then starts trending back up. And then if you just want to leave this for a long-term investment, again, it's very popular, low risk, relatively low risk. So we hope that all helps. Okay, let's look at updates to our watch list of bullpen stocks. And if you're not familiar, if you're new to our BeachBum trading community, you're not familiar with our concept of the bullpen stocks, it's one we borrowed from Jim Cramer, that these are a watch list of stocks that we're not actively tracking on a intraday basis, but every day we go back and revisit these stocks to see if we want to move them up to our main watch list, kind of put them in the game. I noticed other people, other YouTubers are starting to adopt this kind of concept of a bullpen as well. So again, it's easy, quick and easy to add any number of watch lists in Webull. And so we have another watch list called the Bullpen, and at the end of the day I quickly scan through those to see if there's anybody we want to move up to our main watch list. So several we've added to our watch list for this week. You'll see one is CVU. It's another aerospace and defense company. Possibly we should do a due diligence video because it's not I don't think it's a very well-known one. So maybe we should do a due diligence video on them, and I'll show you the chart for CVU in a second. And then Orion Energy Systems, OESX. Both of these popped up in some of the queries, the regular screeners that I do on almost a daily basis, and they popped up as potential candidates for a nice swing trade. So we can see Orion Energy Systems, they do LEDs. This was one during the pandemic. They did some disinfectant using these LEDs. It's very interesting. It looks like they're profitable, which is a very positive, so possibly we need to do a more detailed due diligence video on those. But those are two that we're adding this week. So you can see the chart on CVU. Now you can see it kind of came down, so I kind of missed it at the very bottom. I would have liked to have caught this swing, and then it kind of spiked up on pandemic news and just the market sentiment up. So I'd kind of like it to come back down to get a better price, but you can see it'll probably retrace some, maybe down to this resistance, maybe down to this pivot, and give us another opportunity. So again, that's why it's in the bullpen. I'll check it at the end of the days and see if it looks more promising. Grow we've had on the bullpen for a while. I'd like it to come down a bit. It looks like it is coming down. Again, this is an investment company. Part of their investments are in cryptocurrency, so it does move some with cryptocurrency, but it's not quite as volatile as the miners, etc., and it does pay a dividend. LMFA, we've done due diligence videos on LMFA in the past that you can see. I'll put them in the description box. Again, we've had it on the bullpen. It was down here. It ran up. It looks like it's coming back down. When it comes back down and stabilizes, we'll look at moving them up. We talked about OESX. Again, this is that LED pandemic disinfectant profitable company. So again, you can see it's kind of coming down. Looks like it might stabilize at that pivot. This might be one we move into our watch list pretty quickly if it starts to make a turn. Pets, we were long. We got stopped out of pets. We'd like to get back into pets. It pays a dividend. Again, this is an area where you can probably use that corporate actions tab that we showed you earlier. See where, okay, their ex-dividend date was February 4th, so it looks like it's a quarterly, so 5/4, May 4th is probably the next ex-dividend date. So that helps us know, when do we want to get in. If we want to get the next dividend, we want to get in before May 4th. I'd like to get it 24, below 25, I'd like to get it. So somewhere around that pivot is where I'd kind of like it, or cheaper down at the bottom would be great. PayPal, we put on, it's been in a steady decline. They got hammered on earnings, and now it's been declining. A lot of the fintechs have been declining. Then Apple's announcing a tap-to-pay type thing that may affect some of their business as well. Again, that may be one that we should do a due diligence, or a deeper dive due diligence, but it's kind of becoming pretty cheap. And again, we have experience with them. We can talk about their business, but it's just not a stable bottom yet. So we want to see it stabilize at a support level, turn up before we go long. Skills. Again, one we've had on our watch list. We've made a few minor scalps on Skills. We do have a due diligence video out that you can see on Skills. Why do we like it? I'd like to see it come down before I move it up to our main watch list again. It looks like it is turning down, and we'll see where that opportunity in Skills is. Tait is another one we've had on our watch list in the past, we've owned in the past. Tatron components, we do have a due diligence video out on Tatron, so you can see why are we interested in it. It's another aerospace defense type company. It's a low float, so it's a little choppy. So we'd like to get it a little cheaper if possible. See if we can get a double bottom. See it stabilize, but again, you can see our due diligence on why we're interested in Tait, and when we'll move them up. TMF is one of the treasury bonds. Again, we need to wait for the Fed to totally finish their purchases. It'd be nice to find out what all they're going to sell. But you can see if it does bottom out, we'll go long on the 20-year Treasury. And we've talked about Yalla for a while. This is the quote, I believe this is the one they refer to as the Amazon of Africa. Looks okay. It kind of bounced up pretty quickly and now is a little high. So we'll see if we come back down or runs away. If it runs away, we'll let it go. If it comes back down and stabilizes, maybe we'll move them up to the main watch list. So those are the updates to our bullpen for this week. Now let's talk about shopping lists and other strategies and other ways to trade for this upcoming week. Okay, now I'm on the watch list tab on the online browser version of Webull, and again, you can create any number of watch lists and maintain them here on this watch list screen. I'll link to the previous videos we've done on how you do this, how to create watch lists in Webull and how to maintain watch lists in Webull. I wanted to share with you a number of other ETFs that we've discovered on some other sectors that you may be interested in, and we've added those to our ETF watch list. In Webull, etc., to our database and also to our automated system, so that they're tracking movements on a less frequent basis on this ETF list. So here's some we've added that we've discovered and added recently, and it's categorized. So what category, what is it tracking, what is that ETF, is it up or down, so is it a bullish or bearish ETF, the symbol and the description. So you can see the first one is EWZ, which is a long up, a bullish on Brazil. UNG, we've talked about the past couple weeks, is it tracks the price, the actual price index for natural gas, so that's one we have on our watch list as well. WANT, W-A-N-T, is a bullish ETF on consumer discretionary, so if you think the consumer discretionary sector is going to go up on a given time frame, this is a potential ETF to play the whole consumer discretionary sector. There's also a sector spider that you can play as well, but this is nice because it's a leverage, so it's a 3x leverage, so likely it's going to move faster and more than just the sector spider. EDC is emerging markets. Again, starting to think about strategy, longer term strategy. If the U.S. Economy starts to slow, go into recession, what's going to happen with other emerging markets, etc. So we're just preparing to possibly cycle into other markets if the U.S. market is not presenting the types of opportunities to generate continuous profits. So EDC is a 3x leverage bullish on emerging markets, and then you can see EDZ is a bearish leverage 3x on down bearish on the emerging markets. Then we've also got Europe. Is Europe's recovery going to trail but follow the U.S.? So are they recovering behind us? Is that likely to go up after the U.S. market? Is something we want to watch and start thinking about, again, other areas around the globe that may be going up if the U.S. market goes flat or goes into a near-term recession. So again, just areas to start to think about, start to prepare for, and again, we have automated systems that will then tell me what's moving up, what's breaking out at a given point. So I hope that all helps. Okay, just to share with you where you can find, or one of the places that you can find some of these ETFs, and even search for leveraged ETFs for various commodities, sectors, etc. This is where I found a number of these, is the ETF Database. I'll put this link in the description box below for the ETF database. Again, very useful tool. You can search for ETFs under various commodities, topics, sectors, etc. And you can always find this link under the trading tools link section on our homepage at beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U. And again, that's just one of the tools that we have linked under the trading tools on our homepage for your quick and easy reference. So we hope that also helps. Okay, in terms of shopping list stocks, and again, for anyone that's new to our BeachBum trading community, the concept of a shopping list is, stocks that you always wanted to buy. If they became cheap enough, became a good value, the market declines, you should always have your list of stocks that you want to buy on a market decline, and then you can jump on those when they become good opportunities. So that's the general concept, but in terms of shopping list stocks and just in other strategies to make money in the current markets, given the current events, Russian invasions, etc., the market volatility, the declining market, just briefly talk about that. As we discussed in part one, we love trading. Prepare your action list for potential near-term events. And again, we talk about this in detail in part one, so we'd highly recommend you go see part one. But you should have, in addition to having your shopping list, have action lists based on the potential outcomes of some of these near-term events, the release of news, etc. Some examples that we discussed in part one is, what are you going to do? What's your action plan if you hear the news Russia invades? What are you going to do? Again, we talked about this in part one, so you should have that list of buys and sells that you want to do when that news hits, because we saw there was an immediate market reaction when that news hit. It turned out not to be an actual invasion, it was just an imminent invasion, and so the market settled back down, which is fine. And again, you want to know what's your action plan for that? What's your action plan if they cut a deal and there's not going to be an invasion? Again, what are you going to buy and sell based on hearing that news? What's your action plan if you hear that they're going to lift sanctions on Iran? Again, what are you going to buy? What are you going to sell? Have that ready, because it happens fast. The market reacts fast. The bots are faster than you are, but you can still make money. So maybe you don't get the direct impact, the direct stock that goes up immediately on that news. So then look for sympathy plays. Is who's going to lag behind, still going to go up or down based on that news, but not as immediately. Maybe the bots aren't triggering those, but they're going to follow. So what are the sympathy plays? The other major strategy, again, we still believe we're in a bear market, or what I call a bear market, a declining market. And in this video, we have a whole list of leveraged ETFs that you can scalp, swing, etc. In this declining market and make plenty of money. We can make money in any market. We're making good money in this market. You can play the volatility. You can play the swings down. Again, in those videos for that week, we talk about, okay, what's the nature of a bear market? Essentially, you flip your mindset, flip your charts, and then it's just like playing an ascending bullish market. So again, you make just as much money or more in a declining market as in a bullish market. So again, we'd highly recommend you see the lists of ETFs there, add to it some of the ones that we added here, and hopefully that gives you plenty of ways to make money in the current market, given the current events, upcoming events, news releases, etc. Again, plenty of ways to make money. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What other ideas do you have of how we can make money given the current events, the current situation, etc.? Please put them in the comments below. Please put them in our BeachBum Trading Facebook group. We can discuss things, on a more long-term basis there. We hope that you like this video. We hope you'll smash the like button to help share this video with more of your fellow BeachBum traders around the world. We hope that you will, if you're not already a member of our BeachBum trading community, you'll choose to subscribe to our channel and participate as a fellow BeachBum trader in our BeachBum trading community. Please hit the bell icon to be notified when we release additional videos. And please share this on your social media. Please join us on our social media, and please share this on your social media to enlarge, grow our community so we can support each other and help us all succeed in our trading careers. So please leave us a comment below. Always let us know if there's anything further we can do to help you succeed in your trading career, be a better trader, etc. Please let us know what you think of these videos, what you would like to see more or less of. How can we improve to, again, make this of more value to our BeachBum trading community. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for your time, and good luck, and have a great trading week. The content of this video was produced by BeachBum Trading. We hope you will choose to also join us in the BeachBum Trading community and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Visit us at our homepage at beachbumtrading.com, the bum without the U. Similarly on Twitter, BeachBum Trading, bum without the U. On Facebook and in our BeachBum Trading Facebook group. Please follow us on Pinterest and on Instagram. All of the links to our social media sites will be included in the description box below, and we hope you will choose to subscribe to our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel and follow us on social media. Thank you. We hope that you like our weekly game plan for the trading week for this week. Thank you for watching the video to the end. If you found this helpful, we hope that you will choose to subscribe to our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel, and please click the bell icon below to automatically be notified whenever we publish a new video. Please also share this with your fellow traders and friends via the share button included below. And let us know if you found our weekly game plans helpful in the comments included below. And let us know how we can improve. What would you like to see more, less of, etc. Thank you again for watching. Good luck and have a great trading week.